I think that last week's episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty was the best in the entire series. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another recap and discussion of The Summer I Turned Pretty. This is a part of my recap series where every week we will be going over the episodes of The Summer I Turned Pretty that dropped, and I'll be recapping them for you, analyzing them a little bit, and then we have a great discussion in the comments. If you have never seen my face before, hi, my name is Stella, and I make videos about all things media, that being books, TV shows, movies, and I also post the occasional lifestyle and beauty content. It would mean the world to me if you followed me and joined the community, also to stay up to date on these weekly episodes. However, this week I am obviously late, very late, because we are T minus like 1.5 days until the next episode. But in my defense, I had a lot going on last week and then I got sick. So if the raspiness in my voice, if you hear it, it is because of that. But I really want to get started because we have a lot to cover and I've tried to film this a couple of times and have ran out of time. But before we really jump into it, I just want to say how amazing I thought this episode was. And I do think it's the best in the entire series. Like, I do. The biggest reason I feel like it was so good is because Jenny Han herself directed the episode. Not sure if a lot of you knew that. And I've always felt this way about The Summer I Turned Pretty, but the aesthetic and the cinematography of the show, the look of the show is incredible and amazing. And I'm sure Jenny Han has like a hand in just how she wants it to look because To All the Boys I Loved Before is a very different aesthetic like profile versus this show. But obviously, the cinematographer, showrunner, director, like these things all have to have synergy. And I think we really felt that in this episode. And I do think it's because Jenny Han was directing. Like, I just think it was beautifully done. Okay, let's get into it. So, starting the episode strong, we get a glimpse into how Conrad sees Belly. He sees her encased in this golden, beautiful light. Everything is in this like slow, romantic, movie esque feel. And Lola looks stunning always, but she especially looked stunning in this episode. And that's obviously because that's how Conrad sees Belly. Then we get some voiceover from Khan, and he's basically saying that it like killed him. It was like a lightning bolt to be that close to her again. And I think just from an analysis standpoint, like this is why he stayed away for so long. He has denied his feelings and shoved down his feelings for Belly to give him, to give his brother and Belly space to live their lives. And now it's like unavoidable. He's also very nervous around her, right? He like drops the hammer and he just like is a little awkward. Then his dad calls him and basically is like, is there anything like you can do about the wedding thing? And Conrad's like, no. First of all, it's not up to him. Like, Adam is such a bad parent. It's not up to your son to fix your other son's problems. Like, what? And Conrad gives a very respectful answer, in my opinion. And then his dad's like, oh, like I lost you, like meaning that, oh, if I'm gonna lose Jeremiah if I don't respect this decision. And he's like I lost you. I hated that. Conrad also makes it clear that like he used to have really bright eyes about his dad, and then once he realized who he really is, like all of that facade like shattered. Okay, not much to keep about here. I'm not going to try to get too much into the subplots. Horrible picture of Jeremiah. I'm so sorry, Jer. But these two, Taylor and Jer, we're going to go to cousins. Jer can't go anymore because his dad is working at the office, and Stephen and Taylor obviously have 10. Then Taylor tells Belly that she cannot make it for the 4th this weekend because her and her mom have a commitment with the salon situation. And the one thing that I found very interesting that I feel like is supposed to show Belly and Jeremiah's like selfishness in this whole like, tunnel vision about the wedding is that she makes a comment that Conrad is working on the house to prepare for the wedding. When in my opinion, it's like obvious he's just working on the house because he is literally an owner of the house now, and this is what a responsible adult does to like keep upkeep on the house. Also, that's what he's doing in the book. So to me, that was obvious, and I just think it's funny that she thinks it's about them. Conrad then tells her that like whatever he has in the house is hers as well, which is like a little shocking to her. And I think this is for a couple of reasons. I think number one, she feels like probably she doesn't know Conrad because he's been away a while. And I also think too, now that she's in this relationship with Jeremiah and she's kind of villainizing, I feel like Conrad in her head a little bit, that he's forever going to be stuck in this guy that, in this mode of like a guy who broke her heart and shattered her and her first like real love. Not much to say about this besides this man has such wandering eyes. Like, please get a grip. Then Belly asks Conrad to take her to the store, and he declines because he literally, as the audience sees, he physically cannot be near her. Like, it is hurting his mental health because he loves her. And she gets mad that he can't take her, blah blah blah. Then we get this really cute flashback to Conrad helping Belly and giving her his bike to keep up with everyone else. And again, just another instance of Conrad being there for her. In every flashback, he is actually seeing her and treating her with kindness, as opposed to this sibling kind of like tit for tat bully kind of energy. And again, even like the one Jeremiah flashback we got in season 2, he literally stayed with Belly when she was sick because his mom asked him to. Like, hello? Steven and Denise end up on the same train to New York, okay? And now we're getting the first cracks in Belly's wedding planning. Everything is way more expensive than she thought, which, like, girl, hello? And I also thought it was interesting that at the beginning of the episode, Taylor made a comment to Jeremiah, oh, I never thought I'd see a Fisher budget. And it's like, girl, no, he's not budgeting. Your girl is budgeting, and this man is doing nothing. It's actually incredible that he said he's budgeting. She is doing all the work, this girl right here. Jeremiah is still stuck at the office, which like irritates me because I don't know, but if my girlfriend was expecting me, I would be trying to get out of there as soon as possible. And I know he has to impress his dad, but still. Conrad sees Belly struggling and he decides to help her and give her a ride to run her errands. I also love this little thing with the bike where he's like, I'm obviously taking the bike. Like, girl, you don't need to be a mommy, okay, to the boys. Then these two have the cutest, sweetest moment in the car. They're kind of getting back in the groove of their friendship, and I just love this. And just look how happy she is. Like, she can be so youthful and like a kid again around him. They go into the flower shop. There's a really cute moment where like the lady thinks that he's the groom, obviously not, but they obviously can't afford the flowers. So Conrad makes an awesome suggestion, just like how he makes a great suggestion about the cake. And she's so happy. She feels like, okay, maybe I can be on top of this again. And he's really being an encouraging, like, forget the romance. He's just being a good guy and a good friend here. And then it's all ruined by Jeremiah because this man needs to have every single thing he wants. And he's like, I'll put it on a card and pay it off later. Like, that's not budgeting. And it's clearly making Belly upset. And I don't think what Belly realizes is like, she's upset because she can't please Jeremiah, not because the wedding is so hard. And you can't help but wonder, but if these two were getting married, obviously the easier route where they compromise like a real couple, like a real healthy functioning couple and two adults would be happening as opposed to this like mess. Adam's on board for the wedding, but literally just so he can make it a business opportunity. Boo, we hate him so much. Conrad agrees to take Belly to Michael's craft store. The only thing I'll say about these two is I'm getting Steve Harrington and Robin Buckley vibes. Like, I feel like I'm getting, like, sensing that she's gay or bisexual or, like, not into him. Like, I like them better as friends. This is good. I'm fine. He's obviously not fine. What if it were me who was marrying her instead? I loved this moment. He opens up then about therapy and he tells Belly about the job. And she's very honest with him that, like, you have a hero complex and blah, blah, blah. And, like, again, they're very honest and they're talking about, like, deep things. Like, loved this conversation. Y'all. All I have to say is just, like, he's so in love with her. And a lot of people have been analyzing about the, second peach not being as good as the first, being a metaphor for their relationship. And I completely agree. I think Belly is so in love with him that she will always be scared, like, seeing this end. I mean, they've had to deal with so much death, so much sadness. I feel like to throw her a bone, it's only natural that she feels this strong and confused about Conrad. Then they decide to cook dinner. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. But do you see how she laughs? Do you see how she lights up around him? Incredible. This was giving married couple, like, wasn't it? And they were just talking about life. It's like, then we get a flashback. Y'all, they were so in love. They were so in love. And they still are. Then I heard this agitating, grating voice. Y'all, I'm out of time, so I'm going to leave in the comments what I thought about the whole Belly Jeremiah scene, but I did want to touch upon this because this just broke my heart. And all I have to say is that if I were Conrad's friend, like, I would tell him that, yes, did you make a promise to your mother to look after your brother? However, you don't need to sabotage your life in the process, and you matter too. I have so many more thoughts and we'll probably make more videos on this episode, but I'm begging you, please let me know what you thought below and follow me for more, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.